tulong na walang kapalit, bukal sa kalooban. Ang tanging hangarin ay magsilbi sa bayan. Sulong na Bayan! Programang sasa inyo, alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon. Sulong na Bayan! Kasama si Miss Loli Acosta sa DWIZ 882.
Alright, mapagpalang hapon po sa ating mga tagapakinig. Welcome po sa ating programang Sulong na Bayan. At tayo po'y dinig sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening as the case may be. Lalong-lalo na po sa Estados Unidos, sa East Coast, sa West Coast, ganoon rin po sa Gitnang Silangan. Napakalakas po natin sa Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, dyan sa Jeddah, Riyadh, Qatar, Dubai. At syempre sa ating mga neighboring countries, saan-saan naman po yan, sa Down Under, sa Australia, hello mate. At ganoon rin po sa Adelaide, sa Darwin, sa Queensland, at syempre sa iba pang neighboring countries. Dito naman po yan sa Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Myanmar. Malakas na rin daw po tayo dyan sa bandang Macau, kung saan na andon ang ating wifi ng ating engineer Fred Balamala. At syempre Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, lalong-lalo po sa ating mga kapatidang Muslim. Assalamu alaikum, shalom. Alright, this afternoon, we would want to just say hello to Attorney Roy Señeres and the wife, Monique. I hope they're a little bit under the weather, so hindi sila makakarating. So sana kayo ay magpahinga. Sobrang stress na yata. So take it easy, slow down, at we're praying for your healing. So hindi natin siya makakasama sa ating segmentong kaagapay ng OFWs. But talk about OFWs, huwag niyo pong ipipilit ililipat ang inyong mga piitan dahil may good news po kami dahil babahaginan tayo ng ating magiging resource person kung paano nga bumili. Alam niyo po, kayo ang napakaraming nabili dito sa ating bansa. In fact, kaya nagtayo ang mga lahat ng real estate developers ng iba't ibang development dyan sa kung saan-saang lugar ay para sa inyo po. Para kayo ay mahikayat bumili ng kanilang mga properties. Pero ano nga ba ang tanong? Bibigyan po tayo ng tip ng ating resource person. Siya po ay PR practitioner, public relations, and an advocate for what is right experience in developmental world, mga NGOs in housing and hunger and shipping among others. Kasama na rin po yan. At syempre, nagkaroon po tayo ng Typhoon Paeng. Gusto natin maintindihan kung naging safe ba nga siya sa kanyang tinitirhan dahil dati nakadira sa single detached ito at ngayon ay iba ng lifestyle niya. Siguro fast-paced living, nasa conventional dati, ngayon naman po ay nasa condo living na. So let's welcome to our program the Vice President for Regen Public Relations Company, Regen Energy Philippines, no less than my good friend Gina De Los Reyes Bertuso. Hello!
Hello everyone. Okay. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so thankful for giving me airtime. But I didn't know that I will be the whole program.
Yeah, yan kasi kailangan, alam ko tiyak na hindi tayo magkakasya sa 15-20 minutes eh. So sabi ko, beg off na yung isa tama-tama. Just really right for you kasi napaka-timing naman, di ba, Miss Gina, na ito katatapos lang ng typhoon. And then, ano nga ba ang mga nag-experience mo? Share it to us kasi it's not just you who's really, short change na matatawag sa mga nangyayaring sitwasyon. But share us, ano nga ba ang nag-experience mo itong after ng
Paeng?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Sabihin na natin, I'm still stressed, but I'm alive and thank you very much.
Don't look it. Anday, yan na ba yung stress sa'yo?
But if you're asking me where I am right now, and it's a condo living that I never thought I will end up in, because before, when I was with a property developer whose owner is now the head of the Department of Urban Development and Human Settlements and Urban Development.
Used to be HLURB, right?
Oo, na naging HADC. Diba? Tapos ngayon, DSUD na siya. Okay. So anyway, you will ask me how am I? So sabi ko kasi, wow, disaster preparedness and response here really need much to be desired. Sobra. Most of the listeners or people who are watching now in YouTube might ask, why am I talking? It's not just about the experience that I had in the past week. And right now, it's again going to rain. But, I have been facing disaster and calamity calamities for the longest
Longest
time.
right.
Yeah, and so in other words, yung aking experience in major shipping company, and until now I am with the Global Crisis and Management Response Group in the maritime sector. Tapos yung exposure ko sa Philippine Red Cross with the Chairman Richard J. Gordon, and then MMDA Chairman Bayani Fernando, during Ondoy. And yeah, and with Habitat for Humanity for almost 5 years, with the Bohol earthquake, and then Yolanda. So kung sa and then nasa Rise Against Hunger ako just recently, and it is about, being able to serve communities on lockdown during a pandemic. I mean, ako sa parang katabi ko na yata, or
disaster.
Parang he's my better up.
Ayoko yata tumabi sa'yo. Hindi, but seriously, alam mo na at the back of your hand kung paano, how to really be prepared, or how to really cope, and how to really do it. So tell us, eto bang paing, what did it bring you? Parang, hindi,
Wala.
Right.
Walang preparasyon. Una kasi, if you think about disaster preparedness and response, baka kasi nasa isip ng mga tao, it's only about relief efforts. Honestly, we're so good at that. But the thing is, everyone will have to be prepared sa disaster, especially us Philippines, Ngayon, we're preparing for the big earthquake. We're preparing for every year, towards the end of the year, we experience typhoon that are becoming more, alam mo yon, hostile, in other words, hostile. And so everyone, including big corporations and our government and all the authorities involved, will have to compel, compliance, sabihin na natin, property developers, OFWs are putting their money in, investing in a development because they know this is safe and secure because of the marketing pitch that says that you have the best urban development in our development, and so you can just sit back and relax and do not worry about anything. But there's none. I am not so sure if they even have that. So when you have a disaster preparedness policy, right, you have to have an action plan, and when you do that, the movement should be fast. It should not be slow. Hindi po pwedeng hindi pwedeng petek-petek, as in. I mean, Mr. Señeres, I'm sure can relate to this also, because I think in the past we've had some interaction in the past when I was still with the shipping company, and yun doon iba yun, from A to Z naman yun, and that involves life. Kasi when you have a disaster or calamities, it's not just about the properties, it's about people's lives. Diba? So, you have to have a better response. When you say have a better response, there has to be a team. There has to be a trained team that will...
Don't we have it? Don't we have it right now? Kasi they keep saying the NDRMC, they keep flashing mga sa ating cell phone, do this, do that. And then there's a team that really is supposed to be acting on it. Kulang? Are you saying?
I think there on the government side, I would say that they have already learned from Yolanda, from Ondoy, from all of these other disasters and calamities. But on the private sector or urban development or condo complex, I think they have to do a lot to work it out talaga. As in, they have to prepare, because at the end of the day, it's almost like if you have like 10 buildings, kunwari na lang, sabihin natin, 8 buildings, those are 8 big ships that you have na may nakatira dyan.
Right.
Yeah. So, ibig sabihin, their lives, they're precious. Aside from, they have properties, and you're talking about cars that are parked in the parking or on the basement, and you don't even know if they're supposed to have a basement parking because of building codes that have to be complied with, the vulnerability. So sabi ko nga when I experienced Ondoy, diba, it's like all class were affected. Diba? It's like, it's so bad. So, it's the rich and the vulnerable. And so, the first property that will be affected is not just the house, it's your, like for example, cars. Okay, and aside from that,
Mga
Oo.
OFW, Gina, hard-earned money and blood, sweat, and tears. Tapos, you were dreaming of nice house and a nice car. Tapos, wow, ito pala, mabaha.
And the thing is, when you are in that situation, like myself, kasi alam ko yung dapat na ginagawa, ako ang nagiging, nasa na yung control? Who is taking control of the situation? Kasi apat lang yun sa akin Who's in control?
Number one.
Who's communicating? So, di ba, we get an alert if there's a rainfall warning of orange to red, di ba? They alert us. Who is coordinating? Who's coordinating this? And aside from that, who is compassionate? And at least sending a message to, I'm sure they have all.
Dyan, at least man lang, patting the back. You guys eat what?
Yeah, and where's the team? Kasi parang yung feeling ko kanya-kanya na lang. Parang, the timing of waking us up as early as 2 o'clock in the morning, katutulog mo lang, alam mo yung naaalimpungatan ka pa, na parang suddenly they will tell you na you have to drive your car out because the water is coming in, and then pagbaba mo sa basement, nasa lampas na ng ankle yung water. It's like, and then you don't know, and then imagine all those storerooms that are filled up with sentimental value. I mean, ako hindi ko na iniisip yung sarili ko Yung I have a neighbor who is really so stressed out because first she never heard the knock on the door.
Oh, okay.
So imagine mo, totoo naman yun Hindi mo, ako kasi may doorbell ako. What if you don't have? So you have to find another way to connect to the person. Diba? And then when she got into her car at the basement, lampas tuhod na yung tubig.
Grabe.
So, as in, she was like, so all of us were all like shocked. So like we were all gathered at the lobby and trying to figure out and trying to find out. So who's handling this? Who's in control? And there are 2 other buildings that were affected. And so the day after, walang nangyari. So punong-puno ng tubig yung basement. And nobody's acting on it. Sabi ko, ano nang gagawin niya? Maghihintay ba tayo? So we are giving them recommendations. So anyway, what I'm just trying to say is like, there obviously there's no preparedness. If and when there are policies that they have, there are most likely in a booklet that has been submitted to the government agency that you have to comply with. But the thing is, hindi nila in-implement. So, kasi where I came from when I was with the shipping company, it's very important for us training. And practice. Di ba dito, sabi natin, pag yung MMDA will always have this, ano ba yung sa DACO, yung sa big earthquake, right? So, dito, yung drill. Oo. So, sabi ko, hindi ko alam kung they even have it. What's so bad pa is like the compassion part. So, you have a property manager who is supposed to be the one looking after everyone. I mean, I'm not actually a homeowner, but I rent here for 4 years already. But still, I live here for 4 years. And then some of the people I've had conversation with have been here for 10 or over 12 years. And there are so many issues that they're trying to bring out to the property managers, but wala, as in deaf. As in, parang wala lang, ganun.
Deaf ears.
So sabi ko, yes. So ngayon, sabi ko, it's about time. So, well, let's just say that the property developer is going to meet us now in next week. So I just hope it's not going to be, just promises. Come on, guys, you have to act now and you have to be accountable because, so many properties were damaged. I feel so bad to all those other cars that were not driven out because the owners are all out of the country. Yeah. And then, how are we going to move back? What is, they're talking about insurance that is not covered and so forth and so on. Sabi ko, okay, I don't want to be stressed out with that. So, but there are things in the contract that has been signed that they have to be accountable for. Besides, sabi ko, most of them were saying, hindi nababaha dito. Sabi
Okay.
ko, okay,
That's
sabihin
okay.
na natin, freaky na ngayon ang weather, right? But the thing is,
And-
wala talagang water pump. Ang tanong ko, walang water pump to ensure that the water is, I mean,
Yan,
Huh?
basic yan. They have to have that. Oo.
so if it's not
building
working,
code. Yeah, building
I
code. Think about that. There are
So-
violations. There are some violations if you're talking of walang water pump.
yeah,
Kasi-
and then the civil, I mean, another friend of mine, you can file a suit actually, a civil case
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. I mean, there's some people who are thinking of that. So,
Mental and emotional damage, you can pay that.
until now, I always look out to check
Oo.
if there's gonna be rain.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, sabi nila, wala na daw tubig sa baba. Okay, so wala nang tubig sa baba. So anong sinasabi nyo? Bahala na kami, bumaba kami. Paano yung mga storeroom? Pagbukas namin kung biglang lumabas ang tubig, nandoon pa sa loob, right? And then, you have to disinfect that. You have to repaint everything.
Yeah, for safety and appearance. Ano?
Yeah, I mean,
Are we talking of, you just mentioned this should, you mentioned building code. Educate us. Ano ba nandyan kasi napaka-fine print eh. Some of the owners or katulad yan, sinasabi mo, they're out of the country. Yung iba naman are busy with work. They don't read the fine print. What is it in the fine print? Sa kontrata nyo, what did you sign? Or
well, I know one of the homeowners who been here for over 10 years was saying that they cannot even be part of, a decision. Di ba may mga homeowners association yan, right? And they have a board. They elect a board. And it used to be that they have like committee head for each building. Kasi may representation yung bawat building. So whatever issues there are for each building, that representative can bring it out. So apparently in the first year of it, they were listening to it. Pero the previous property management is no longer here. So there's a new one that would not want to move. Wala.
Yeah. But you have, again, with that fine print, with that contract that you guys have with the developer, dun yung makikita yung basihan how you will file a suit, a class suit. Anong violations meron sila? Sinunod ba nila yung building code? And mismong water pump, simple as that, dapat meron sila nun.
Yeah, I think we will all be able to have everything cleared and clarified by the people who will meet with us on Wednesday. But, I said, actually, when they called me yesterday, sabi ko, well, thank you for your bravery, but I don't think you called me because you found out, but because somebody told you to call because they are already like aware of this problem. Alam mo yun, di ba? Yung parang, okay, you're not acting on it because you have a responsibility, but the thing is there are people who are already poking you and telling you, hey, you better. Ako kasi, I mean, you know me, I'm a PR practitioner. I'm a communicator. I know what integrity is all about. I know what marketing is. I said, there's what they call the truth in advertising. So how can you say you're like this when you are not even showing us that you are like that? So I don't want to say it, but sometimes I am, I really wanted to say it. Hello, can you work it out now? Because this is not right. Kawawa naman yung mga invest na, and there are other people who are investing here, and if they get their acts together, then everyone will be happy. But hindi yung wala lang, bahala na kayo kasi kung wala magrereklamo, di alam yung ganun lang. Sabi ko no, I think I mean my conscience is telling me to do something about it. So sabi ko, sige, I will help because, I lived here for 4 years and I have some issues then that they have not really listened to me and they're like indifferent. And so sabi ko, this one is different, okay? And what if na lang somebody died during that time because inatake sa puso, alam mo yun, nagkaroon ng stress. Oo, di ba? I mean, that's not right. For me, And they have to move fast. Parang, okay, sige, kung hindi ko kayo kakalabugin or hindi kayo kakatukin, hindi kayo magbubukas. You're all hiding behind your four walls. So, well, let's see what will happen on Wednesday.
Yeah. But again, siguro this is like an eye-opener to property developers who might be tuning in or any of their officials from different parts of different developers. Kasi ang OFWs, ang pinakamalaking chunk, the ones who have the purchasing power, so to speak. At saka kaya naman sila talaga build ng mga iba-iba pang mga development anywhere. Kasi, yan ang gusto nilang makuha. Now, na nakuha naman nila, serbisyong totoo naman sana. So, are you saying most property developments now are selling not just on strategic locations, katulad ng sabi mo, tsaka prices, So, yung mga good investment for OFWs and also those who can afford. From your experience, was the promise of safe and security been delivered? Sabi mo nga hindi, di ba? So ano yung pwedeng sabihin sa kanila ngayon? If you guys are pitching in na maganda ang inyong property, safe and sound, etc., ano ang, they have to walk the talk, ganun ba?
Yeah, I mean, first, they have to go back to the issues that were already aired out by most of the homeowners here in the past that have not been attended to. Sabihin na lang natin, those are the pests or the rodents. Trash that are not collected properly, or even sorry to say this, but there are some people who are not good at communicate or yung kanilang first in line. Alam mo yung first in line nila are like the security guard. Not all of them are. I feel like in my case, I have a feeling every now and then that I am intimidated, or there are times that there's the feeling of, you have to follow the rules or else. Alam mo yun? Yung parang, wait, without the homeowner. Kami nagbabayad sa inyo eh. Kaya kami ng homeowners nagbabayad sa inyo. You guys should be decent enough and really be courteous enough to us. Diba? Ang ano ko kasi sabi ko, I mean, the infrastructure, they have reception, but the thing is yung reception nila, not everyone are like hotel type reception. The infra is like hotel type, pero the people at the back,
it's like,
how are you? And then, good morning, pero yung tatanungin ka sa araw-araw na 4 taong ka na dito, na anong unit ka nakatira.
Relasyon.
Yung ba, hindi mo pa ako nakikilala kasi bago daw siya. Parang, okay, that's not my problem. But the thing is, you're not even supposed to ask. Sabi ko, ano yung maglalagay na kami ng ID ngayon? Alam mo yun, those things, sabi ko, first, you have to tell your big boss to tell you why. Because nai-irritate it and it's so annoying.
Napaka, you had a long day from work and then pag uwi mo, yun na nga yung gusto mong uwian, and then here comes the guy will tell you, sino po kayo? Saan unit po kayo?
Kaya nga eh. So I think there has to be a lot of updating and upgrading and make it more customer-centric. Aside from
more friendly.
The facilities or the system, make sure the water pump is working, make sure this hydrant is working, or baka mamaya yung mga yung sa pag may sunog, yung what you call that, are working, hindi yung kasi hindi nasira pala. I mean, hello, di ba dapat chine-check ninyo yan?
Right.
Ano ba yun? At tapos pag magpapump kayo, ano yung itsura ng hose? Parang hose ng ng washing machine. Sabi ko, oh my God, ano ba yan?
I think ang mahal ng homeowners fee, I'm sure, per square meter.
And that's something also that most homeowners are asking, because they are stockholders, diba? So they have the right to see how the monies are being spent, right?
Yung financial report, ganun, na they have to present it every so often sa quorum, o kung merong weekly or monthly meeting, meeting. But, before you answer all of that, we have to pause na pakabase ng ating kwentuhan. Kulang ang isang oras. Pag Gina Bertuso ang iyong guest. Anyway, again, we'll give way to our sponsors. Diyan ka, wag kang aalis. Babalik ang ating Sulong na Bayan.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Alright, nagbabalik pong muli ang ating programang Sulong na Bayan at kasama pa rin po natin ang Public Relations Philippines International, Region Energy Philippines. Kasi napaka-international na talaga naman ang ating kasama, no? Nag-habitat pa siya at all over the world. I'm sure alam niya ang talagang mga guide. And ito, ating pinag-uusapan, tips and guide for condo living. Alam niya how safe and how secure should one be pag ikaw ay bumili ng condo. So, from what we were like talking, hanging question natin kanina, you mentioned, Gina, na abandoned, neglected, or bahala na kayo system ang parang pinapatupad. We will not name names and identify who the property owner is. But again, it holds true with a lot of other homeowners that I know. Ang dami na, it's not just you who asked and complained. There were like 3 others na iba rin ng developers. The same thing sinasabi. So ang tanong, you mentioned this time element, the 4 C's. Can you expound on that? The 4 C's, the elements that you mentioned. There's like control, communicate, coordinate, and compassion. Can you just share it to us para naman maintindihan ng ating mga nakikinig kung ano nga?
Yeah.
Yan?
Kasi when you're in a disaster or any other situation or incident, you have to take note of that and you have to be prepared. So the C is somebody will have to be in control. So it's like when something is happening, someone is going to tell, okay, team, let's go, right? So he is the one who's going to tell everyone. And the people that he's going to call to do their tasks are already part of that committee or that crisis or that preparedness team. So, diba normally, ako kasi, when I was with Habitat and even with Region, meron kaming hard hat. For anything, and you have this you have this vest that says that you are part of the rescue or the disaster group or committee. When I say control, somebody will have to be the one calling the shots. Okay, guys, check this, that. Okay, and then the other thing about the control is like they know already that Paeng is a bad, the wind, the water, and it's happening, and that the Manila will be hit sometime between 8 to 11 in the evening.
For that,
Yeah, and you know that you are in a vulnerable area because this area is always flooded. Outside, outside. I know, you know that, right? And so dapat inisip pa lang nila, okay, we cannot take the risk, diba? So whoever is in control, okay guys, you probably have to start knocking on everyone's door by 11. Hindi yung 2:00 na madaling araw kung kailan nakatutulog lang ng mga tao. Alam mo yon, it's like, kasi if we have our own initiative, it's like, saan namin dadali ng kotse namin? Paano namin ilalabas yung mga gamit sa storeroom? Alam mo yon? So it's too late for us to be advised, and then we are already, it's like we're already panicking and we're already like, oh my God, and so forth and so on. So nobody's in control. The timing is so slow. Number 2 is, who's communicating with us? No one is even sending a message. You have to always account for everyone on the building that's affected, right? You know already who are parked on the basement.
Intercom? Kasi some others may intercom kami. Tawag agad. Dial this, dial that.
No, and nobody's even calling or sending a message, ma'am, are you okay? Or so forth and so on. And, sure. we are trying to figure this out, blah, blah, blah. We're not saying you apologize to us because like,
doing something.
Pero, ito yung sinasabi ko because this will always come out that this is acts of nature. Okay, don't make that excuse. Okay? No, don't even make that as an excuse. If somebody's in control, we could have been advised earlier and this could have been avoided. Because the storeroom and the storeroom that is probably keeping a lot of personal stuff and valuable items have already been washed out. I never even tempted to go down to check my storeroom because because sinabihan pa nga ako ito There's one housekeeping who said, "Ma'am, gusto niyo po silipin. Teka muna. We're not going down until we are advised everything is clear, everything is clean. Alam mo yun, di ba ganun yun?
Right. Toxic na yan. Diyan baka may sumalubong sa yung mga kung ano-ano.
May nakita kaming somebody saw a snake.
Ay, see?
Doon sa tubig, nung mataas pa yung tubig. So, ibalay namin kung may mga ahas dyan sa loob. Alam mo yun? So, anyway, control, no one. Who's communicating? No one. Nobody's coordinating. Nobody's, no people who are trained to call, none. And kaya, walang crisis communication. So, wala makipag-usap sa akin dito. O di, umabot ako doon sa head office nyo. Ay, bago kami umabot sa head office, dumaan pa kami sa, alam mo na kung saang...
Layer yan.
Oo, layer. Kasi kung hindi itong tao na to o mga ngalampag sa inyo, hindi nyo ako papakinggan. So, ganun na yun nangyari. So, nobody's communicating nor coordinating with us. And that indifference, you already failed in the other C, which is compassion.
Wala kang palang... Wala kang pakialam. Samantalang stakeholder.
And there, diba? The property developers tagline. Sabi ko, no, you're not.
Good guys.
No, you're...
The good girls. Girls and guys.
Sabi ko, no, you're not. Because look, what's happening here? Parang, wala lang. Yun lang. And this is already like almost over a week.
A week na. My gosh. Ito mismo, natatakot kang bumaba dun sa storeroom.
Imagine mo yon, the downtime. The people here who are stressed. Ako, hindi nga ako nakauwi ng All Souls at All Saints Day because I cannot leave. I have to pray here na lang for my...
lang sa... Ones. Yeah.
So imagine hindi nila alam yon, wala silang doon.
Gina, the mental and emotional damage, you cannot quantify that. Kasi kung ikaw mas puso, tapos ganyan lagi, every time that didilim lang ngayon, you're already panicking. What happens to you? Kasi wala naman pala makikipag-communicate, But again, in the spirit of fairness and objectivity, if we said something against you or whoever you are, bukas po ang linya ng aming komunikasyon ngayon. As of right now, hanggang bukas, hanggang Monday, hanggang Tuesday, kahit kailan po, because we want to be fair and objective. We will give you your airtime kung gusto nyong sumagot sa mga naririnig niyo pong aming sinisiwalat. Because we're not naming names. Pero kung kayo po ay tinatamaan, then let us know. Para lang
So, in other words, doon sa apat na framework na yon, they failed miserably. They failed miserably. So yun lang, I'm being objective, I mean, my daughter's telling me, Mommy, you have to calm down. So, I am as calm as I can be and as diplomatic as I can be. But when you see your co-owners, I feel so bad. I feel so bad because I can't even imagine the owners of those cars when they come back. It's like, okay. It's like, whatever. So, I mean, emergency preparedness and response plan is very important, not only because it will save lives, but, properties. And if you have this, then your resilience and post-recovery, there will be a lessened impact, on the disaster. And right now, instead of you earning goodwill and understanding, look, I'm talking to you now. And that is already like harming their integrity because I'm not lying. I mean, I experienced it. It's like, I'm still personally. I'm still trying to manage and minimize saying anything that would give out their name. But I just don't want them to be as you know what I mean?
They should do something. On Wednesday. We're calling on you guys kung sino man kayo, But again, do something para, everybody will be apprised and will be informed and will have something to really, siguro maisip nyo, kaya pala, there will be communication. Kaya pala ganun sila. You would understand. Baka may silang reason. We have to get two sides of the coin. Journalist.
Actually, Lolly, there are great companies that also failed. I mean, I know because I've been there. Remember? I mean, there are things that are uncontrollable. But but the thing is, do you even have anything to make sure that this is not going to happen? But if you cannot even explain to us, then parang you need to update and upgrade yourselves, and you have to make sure this is not going to happen again, and make sure that you be accountable to all the damages to the properties of the homeowners that were affected.
Talk about accountability. Dun nga, again, we go back to the fine print. Dun sa kontrata ng bawat resident dyan at stakeholders. Kasama ba dyan ng insurance?
I'm not so sure about that. I'm not competent on that aspect. But I think there are some areas that can be that they're liable to for issues. Yeah.
And then ayaw natin magdamay, Miss Gina, ng mga LGUs o iba't ibang sangay ng pamahalaan, but I know for a fact those who have really complained to our program dito sa Sulong na Bayan, sabi nila, new action pag sumumbong kayo kay barangay ganito o kay LGU building permit officer na ganito at o kaya sa mismong DSUD. Because ang sinasabi nila, di umano, kaibigan ho nila eh. Oh. Kaibigan. I don't know what that means. Kung kaibigan o talagang kakonnive or ano. These are all allegations. Pero ganun na naririnig natin. So, what are we saying? Kahit po kaibigan nyo naman yung mga nandyan sa regulating body, mga officers yan, again, sinasabi ni Ms. Gina, we're talking of lives of people at stake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at saka besides, we have to be fair. Mm-hmm. And justice, I mean, for me as a homeowner or someone who's renting this place,
yes.
And especially the homeowners, this is not like, this is valuable for them. This is hard-earned money. This is, and most of the homeowners that I am in contact with are seniors like myself. Imagine that.
Right.
We're fair and just here. You have to be fair and just because, this is not right. We have to make things right. Let's do the right thing. Yun lang, do the right thing. If you failed in this, and then, at least be brave enough to say that we can change it,
Yeah. Pwede naman gawan pa ng ibang pamaraan and then improve the service or mag-train sila because they have money anyway. Ang homeowners nyo lang is, I'm sure meron kayong pondo eh. O pag tinanong pa nga natin yung homeowners nyo, ilan na yung pera nyo sa ngayon, ang homeowners mismo. Kayo alone, you have money eh. So dapat spend din nyo yan dun sa mga kailangan ng homeowners welfare. Ni-spend nyo. If you guys need the water pump, bili tayo. Meron naman tayong pondo eh. Ano pa kailangan? mask, hard hat, etc. Bili din tayo. Kung aasa ka nga sa property developer, ang tagal. O mismong kayo. I won't ask who the homeowner president is, but I'm sure sa Wednesday's meeting nyo, she should be there or he should be there.
I hope so.
Homeowner president, because kayo ang involved eh.
Yeah.
Kung nandyan kayo, talk about the leader, dapat siya yung mag-lead nga ng,
In fairness to the developer, it's their corporate communications who's gonna meet with us, but they're the PR people. But the thing is, you can only accept too much information, but we need implementation. We need action. It's not like, just don't treat us for an hour because we will forget it. No, we cannot. Yeah.
So again, I'll go for sa susunod yung election, for the Homeowners Association election, if it's like every year o ano ba term limit niyan, 2 years ba or every other year, dapat bumoto na kayo ng tama. Kasi kung di naman yan sisipot pala sa Wednesday kung sino yung homeowners president nyo, that means wala rin siyang pakialam sa inyo. So bakit
tama ba yun? Oo nga most of the officers. Hindi yung I heard that some of the officers and most, if not all, they don't even live here.
Exactly. But the president is there. Hindi pwedeng wala siya. he cannot be elected as president of the homeowners when he's not living there. Yung iba, yes, I can, possible na talagang namili lang yan para for investment purposes. Yung iba nga, pinaparenta lang nga din, just like your case. So, pero yung mga leader or officers ng homeowners, nandyan yan.
Yeah.
So, dumating siya, kasi siyang spokesperson, yun na siyang dapat nag-lead. In fact, yun nga dapat inunahan yung tawagan. Did you try and attempt call the homeowners president? Kasi para sa kanya magsumbong, para siya yung mag-action din.
Ay nako, we tried all channels. But they all have ways to get out of it and drag their feet because it's either that person is not available and that needs to come back to you. It's the same thing over and over. It's like, okay, so hanggang mapagod ka na because some of the homeowners who've had a lot of issues in the past, napagod na sila.
Kasi nga yung mga predecessor didn't accommodate baka itong mga bago tamad din kasi yun ang naging kumbaga basihan hindi naman pala ina-action na ng mga dati, bakit tayo action, something like that but again we're calling on the real developer, the high and mighty. So this is not funny, we're talking of lives. And para sa inyo rin po to, sabi nga ni Miss Gina, credential nyo, reputation nyo is at stake as well. So, sinong gustong bibili pa kung ganyang klase ang mangyayari pala, no? Alam na natin, napaka-flooded area stricken yung yung lugar na yan.
Yeah, I know.
Dahil ako mismo, biktima dyan hanggang kalahati ng katawan ng kotse ko lumubog dyan kasi talagang flooded nga So, alam niyo po yun, tayo ay bisitahin ng bagyo every August, November, lalo na pag November 1, yung
true. Kasi diba, yung Ondoy, that's October, tapos,
something.
No. October, Ondoy. And then there's the Bohol earthquake in October. Tapos November yung Hayan, which is Yolanda.
It's noon.
Yeah, so talagang pasyalan tayo.
Developer or na architect siguro, how they would have that kind of parang typhoon resilience. Okay. Ay kaso, Loli, ang typhoon resilience is more on the people who live here. But the infrastructure should be resilient also. You have to have you have to have a team. Actually, ako kung iisipin, kung ako lang I have to create a committee, a crisis committee in each building. Diba, remember when you ride a plane, diba, there's always the exit and you are always like asked, can you take care of, if and when, diba, which hindi nangyayari. That's the same thing when you're on board a ship. You are given assignment. So there's the fire committee, there's the, one that will take care of this. Safety committee. Village ng functions din. Yeah, actually, in fairness to most of their security force during that night, they practically did everything, and which probably is not their job. Honestly. Talagang kailangan mag-rescue kailangan to. Yeah, and then they were not even equipped. As in, mano-mano. Yeah, wala akong nakita naka-boots, na totoong boots. I didn't see anyone who have like raincoat. Kasi diba, it's been raining. So, lalabas ka. Like in our case, nung inilabas namin yung kotse, and sabihan ka na, doon ka sa parking outside sa harap ng building, whatever. It's like, I had already this weird feeling na, shit, paglabas ko, malakas ang ulan. Thank God na hindi na umuulan. I mean, for a course, 63-year-old person like myself, so imagine mo, there are other more senior than myself who are going to drive our cars out. And the lady who's as old as my daughter was the one who was so stressed out because she felt so like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you? I mean, I can imagine the lady. I mean, and then your car, sobra. So, and then yung kanyang storeroom niya, 8 years of her life. Wala, damaged. Yeah. So I think, for me, it's like, it's really is important that this developer and the property management revisit
And I think the first thing is like to make amends with everyone who were affected, because there are 2 other buildings that were affected,
sabay-sabay.
Yeah, 2 other buildings in the same complex. So sabi ko, and then parang it's been happening, except for us now, this is the first time, pero dun sa 2 other buildings, it's been happening all the time. I think sabi ko, there's a structural issue there na. And besides, sabi ko, wow, when you are delayed in paying your what do you call that? Your parking fee or whatever, you are already penalized. Pero when you have this downtime, when you have this downtime, parang, we cannot even, ask you to pay for damages. Sabi ko, parang it's so unfair, diba?
So safety and well-being are the top priorities of every developer. Kasi kukonsider, ba't pa kami pupunta dyan o titira dyan if we're not safe? So ang tanong, can you kayo group not get your act together, meron na kayo eh. You can write properly, perhaps the City Hall, ask them anong how do I say it? Anong dapat pang i-improve dito sa mga properties na ito, na how they...
Yeah, I'm giving the developer the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Mm-hmm. And for them, if they will be able to answer and to take action on all of the issues, then fine. Mm-hmm. But if they're gonna, create more issues because of this and that, it's like just to drag their feet and buy time. Oh no, we cannot take that anymore. It's not gonna be right. It's really terribly wrong.
Yeah. So for the record, pwede natin sabihin you might file a class suit.
It will all be dependent on
if the need arises. Kasi masyado na kayong nasaktan and
it's unfair. I feel for all the other homeowners who've been here for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, it's like they chose to live here because they felt like that they're safe and they're secure, and and it's near everything that they need.
Sure.
And then you get to this point na, oh my God, this is terrible. Yeah.
And then more importantly, you mentioned you were with this guy who is now the DWIZ secretary. Do you plan lang naman to even tell him about this or inform him?
Actually, yeah, I will.
Regulating body dito eh.
Yeah, and it is so ironic that I sat I sat as an executive director of the Subdivision and Housing Developers Association, yes, where the property developer of this condo complex is also in the board. And in fact, I sent her most of the video and pictures that I sent. But the only thing that I noticed is nobody really even reply to say acknowledge or noted na.
Alam mo lang, nakalagay doon seen. Alam mo naman sa FB, pag naglagay ka sa messenger, seen o delivered. Wala man lang ganon.
Wala.
Sa doon nakita niya, seen eh.
Sa Viber, I even emailed.
Delivered.
Nobody. My question, wala na nga akong narrative eh. Ang title ko na lang, are you going to do anything? It's already October 31 with all the photos and videos.
Action speaks louder than words. So nakita naman
ko, obviously, parang wala talaga. So somebody told me that they know daw already. Yeah, I know. Everyone knows.
Hindi nila alam siguro gagawin. I think what they need now is to hire a crisis PR. Nandyan ka.
Sabi ko knowing.
Dahil galing ka yan, tapos eto ikaw mismo ang apektuhan. Now they would need you again para maintindihan.
Sabi ko kasi, knowing is just getting information, but that information, they should be able to do something. It's action that is needed.
Right.
Actually, Loli, if you ask me, I'm doing PR for the homeowners right now.
Already, okay.
I'm the one who's helping them out, increase the voice. Yeah, because I used to be in the corporate world. This time I'm like the victim.
Kaya ironically, ikaw yung dati, now you know better. So, okay, we have 60 seconds. Tell us, ano pa yung message mo that you want to deliver so that it will really go across sa ating whoever is na andyan culprit, supposedly.
You know, I think my note, and I hope they will hear, is we need to stress that property management, whoever they are, and I'm not going to mention them, should be more proactive and connecting, you know.
Communicating.
Your homeowners are your investors and stockholders.
That's right.
So listening and taking immediate actions are very important. Not hiding behind their four-wall offices.
Right.
Please, do something about this. This is not right. You know, ako, karma is a bitch.
Yan. On that note, we bring to a close this segment, but let us know what happened after your Wednesday's meeting, okay?
I will, my dear, and thank you very much. And for everyone listening, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And talk about thank you, salamat po kay Juna Guba, ating writers, Miss Judith Strada Larino, Rashid Locsin, Aram Sancho, Abby Malanday, at social media, si Jam Tarayo, si Joanna Luna, Kini Gomez, at ang ating communication assistant, si Hias, Maya Caservanes, Jessa Barmeda, ang ating GM, actually news GM natin, si Sir Vic De Leon Lima, at ngayon din si Randy Cabangon, at ang ating chairman, D. Edgar Cabangon. As I always say, keep God first in every area of our lives, so He will direct our path. God bless everyone. Bye.
God bless. God
Si Miss
bless.
Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.